Hello. Now I've come out for a walk today with my very good friend Charlie Walduck, and you might recognise Charlie. Charlie, tell them why they might recognise you.
Well, Mark, a few years ago, 2004 it was, my friend Lucy wrote to ITV This Morning because I was in a pretty bad way. I was 50 stone in weight. I could hardly walk, I couldn't get out the house, I couldn't do anything. And she wrote a letter saying that she didn't want to lose her best mate, and they decided to help me, and my progress was shown on ITV, and I did lots of TV and lots of radio and lots of newspaper stuff after that. So yeah, people might recognise me from that, but they might not. Okay,
so a lot of water under the bridge. Thinking back then when you were 50 stone, how did you feel about life?
Well, it wasn't really worth living, to be honest. The quality of life was poor. I always worked though, I always had a job, and that kept me going. I used to get a taxi to work, taxi home, but everything was a struggle. And then there were a couple of things that happened in life which really made me evaluate things. One of them being we had an armed robbery where I worked, which was horrible, and I got punched, I couldn't get off the floor, it was really difficult. And you know, a couple of things like that happened which really made me think I didn't want to be here anymore.
So I hope you don't mind me saying this, Charlie, but back then you actually went from 50 stone all the way down to 15 stone.
Well, less than 15 stone, down to 13.5 stone in actual fact.
Okay. And if I remember rightly, it was kind of all over the television in my mind at the time, and you became a bit of a kind of a minor celebrity, certainly locally. How did you feel after you'd lost the weight?
I suppose looking back and thinking about it, it was a lot happier. I did lots of things that, you know, I could never have done before. I went travelling, I went around the world, I met lots of new people, I did lots of TV things, I did things I couldn't do. I went in restaurants and sat behind, fitted seats. I went to the cinema again, I went theatre. I could wear clothes that, I went crazy, I bought loads of clothes. I've got cupboard fulls of clothes that, simply don't fit me anymore.
So according to my maths, in 17 years, you've put 17 stone back on. Would that be about right?
About right, yes.
But in fairness, you're still 17 stone away from your maximum, which was 50 stone.
Yes, that would be a fair assessment.
Okay. What would you say were the main reasons for putting the weight back on?
Well, I've eaten too much and not done enough exercise. I mean, that's the reason why 98% of us gain weight, is because we eat too much and don't do enough. So that's the reason why. Also, things in life, things don't go to plan in life. My dad passed away. I spent a lot of time, spent a lot of time with my mum, and then sadly my mum passed away 5 years ago. And I'm not blaming my mum and dad for not being here, but it does add to the sort of overall feeling of despair and depression. And then when I feel low, I start to eat.
Right. Okay. And what would you say to someone that says that's just greed?
Well, they're probably right. I mean, it is greed. It is greedy to eat vast amounts of food, but I would say you don't really understand the bigger picture. That, to me...
So in a short sentence, and then we'll move on to the next bit, what's the bigger picture?
The bigger picture is that some of us have a real problem with food. Overeating is an eating disorder, and I've got an eating disorder.
Fair play. Right. So why are we making a video today?
Well, we're making a video because hopefully this will be my last chance.
You say hopefully?
No.
I'm only picking you up on that because we always have this conversation. When you say hopefully, what do you mean hopefully? What level of commitment have you got?
Well, I've got a 95% level of commitment, but there's always that 5% where something happens, or you can fall off the wagon. It's difficult because if you say to yourself, I'm going to do this 100%, then yeah, it can be difficult at times. But hopefully this will be the kickstart of the new me, and that I can get the weight down and perhaps have some realistic expectations about what I want to then do with the rest of my life.
So let's come back to hopes and expectations and wins in the very near future. What are you going to do to lose the weight?
Well, I'm going to eat less, and I'm going to try and move more. Well, I am going to try. I am going to move more. I'm not just going to try. I'm going to move.
So have another go at that sentence then. What are you going to do to make yourself lose the weight?
Well, I'm going to eat less, and I'm going to move more.
Right.
So by eating less, I'm going to reduce the amount of calories. I know there's a big debate about calories and fat and different sort of diets that people do, but really losing weight is simple mathematics. I know how to lose weight. I've done it before. I'll do it again.
So let's get down to the nitty gritty. What are you going to do to prove that you've eaten less?
Well, I'm going to document things. So I'm going to write things down, like I did the first time round. Wrote how many calories I was eating a day down. I measured my weights, because what can be measured can be managed, of course. And doing these videos and sharing the journey with other people is really going to spur me on, and hopefully it'll inspire other people as well.
Right, brilliant. So we can get back to how everyone watching this can help you in a second, but just going back to the mechanics of you losing weight, you've mentioned that you're going to measure your calories and measure your weight. Is there anything else you're going to measure?
I'm going to measure my steps and write down every day how many steps I do. I'm going to buy one of those modern little Fitbits. In fact, someone's given me a modern little Fitbit.
Who might that be?
Your mum, Pam. So thank you, Pam, for that.
Yeah,
it's
wonderful.
Really going to help me. And you know, it's great, isn't it? You know, I'll measure each day. Hopefully I can get to, and I say hopefully again, but I will get to 10,000 steps.
Right, okay, let's, again, because you know I do some personal development, some coaching. Let's just go a little bit further down. When are you hoping to get to 10,000 steps?
In 3 months' time.
What are you doing now?
Probably about, on average, 2,000 to 3,000 a day.
So you're doing 2 to 3 now,
yeah.
And you want to get to 10,000 in when?
3 months' time.
3 months' time, okay. So is that helpful, having a long distance target?
I think so, yes. I think if I was to say, and to lots of people 10,000 steps isn't a great deal, but for some it's an awful lot, and it's a lot for me at the moment. If I was to say I'm going to do 10,000 steps starting from tomorrow, then I think I would be setting myself up for a fall, because
okay. So what would be reasonable for you to do tomorrow?
I think if I could move towards 5,000 steps.
Okay, so move towards is one thing, but what could you do tomorrow?
4,000.
Do you think that's realistic?
Yes.
Okay, so would it be possible for you to do that every day from tomorrow onwards?
I think on average, yes.
Okay, when you say on average?
Well, 4,000 times 7, so 28,000 steps a week.
Right, okay, great. So should we set that as a little target for you?
Yes.
Wonderful, brilliant. In terms of calories, what's your target?
I'm going to initially do 2,000 calories a day. I think someone of my size could probably double that amount to maintain this weight. So I'm hoping with simple mathematics, it should give me a weight loss of between 4 and 7 pounds a week, hopefully.
Right, okay. So if we worked on the minimum of £4 a week, how much can you expect to lose in the next month?
4 times 4, 12 pounds. So
16, isn't it?
Oh yes.
Yeah. So is that another little target we can kind of set as an aspiration?
Yeah.
Wonderful, brilliant. So we've got some really good targets there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what smart objectives are.
Yeah.
So they're pretty smart objectives, aren't they, as well?
Yeah, maybe the viewer doesn't know what they are.
Well, you tell them.
Well, it's specific, so measurable, achievable, realistic, and there's a time frame. So it's 4 weeks, lose 16 pounds, and it's realistic. You know, if I said I'm going to lose 20 stone, that wouldn't be realistic.
And the mechanism for you to achieve that is?
Steps.
Of?
4,000 average per day, calories of 2,000, and weekly video blog to get me encouraged.
So you heard that, I heard it, you've said it. We're going to talk about some of the benefits of you being there, viewer, in a second, and one of them is holding to account, but Charlie's going to tell you all about the benefits of you being involved in this in a moment. I'm going to take the mic off now and hold it a bit closer to you, because we mentioned a moment ago that there are several ways in which people watching this can help you. So Charlie, would you mind explaining to the viewers how they can help?
Well, you can help by watching the videos, by encouraging me, by giving me some of your tips and some of the things that work for you. A real sense of purpose for me every week, knowing that people are following and giving me the encouragement, and you know, the encouragement that I need. When I lost all that weight on TV before, it was because I had this level of accountability. The accountability was doing these videos every week. So by following this journey, you're really going to help me. So thank you very much.
Wonderful, thank you very much. And I think, I mean, as a YouTuber, because you know I've got a gardening channel, another thing that people can do to help would be to subscribe to this channel, and also hit the notifications bell.
Is that when you point down like that?
Yeah, there's a subscribe to this channel.
Bell.
Hit the notifications bell.
Hit the bell.
Let me explain the reason. Okay, he's going to need surgery because he's going to have a lot of spare skin. And the objective really as well is to try and get the channel monetized. And just by you watching the videos, Charlie will get some money from advertising. And he's going to put that money towards surgery, because I know you've shared with me a couple of times that one of the things that didn't help last time was your self-esteem after you'd lost the weight. You did get surgery at one point, didn't you? Tell me about that.
I had a small little apron of skin that was hanging down below my, towards my knees, removed, but it wasn't really enough.
So they didn't do the whole job, did they? Because if I remember rightly, because I knew you quite well at that stage, they just did a thing that was required medically, but they didn't help you with anything cosmetic.
No, they just removed some skin from the bottom, which was causing me to have lots of sores underneath.
Right.
So that's why they moved it. It was moved by the NHS, which did a fantastic job in doing it, and you know it was great at Withenshaw Hospital, but it wasn't enough. I needed, you know, my breast area doing, and you know, I even had loose skin dangling off my knees and things like that, which didn't give me the confidence to want to show off my body at all.
Wonderful. Right, I think we've probably said enough in this video. This is his channel, it's all about him. I'm just here as a kind of a conduit, so they can expect to hear from you again when?
Next week. So what I'll do during the week, I'll do lots of films about my adventures, what I'm doing, how I'm getting along, and then we'll put it all together into a weekly video. So please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next week.
See you soon.